evening, freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we are going to be diving into the energies in play this week, running Tuesday through Tuesday here at Broad Coven because I take Sundays and Mondays off from doing any kinds of postings. But I did want to first open up. I just felt called this week. We are, right in the middle of that Capricorn Mercury retrograde energy. And we will actually be on the other side of that. It'll go forward next week, I believe, maybe even right around Tuesday. It'll be going forward on the 18th. Okay, so not too much longer to deal with this, but we will have the post shadow, all right? But we're kind of in the thick of it. So I just wanted to open up the week and open up this intro, just sending a little sage and copal in your direction, just to clear away the energy from the past week and any remnants of 2002 that are still just kind of hanging on to your aura, taking up mental space in your consciousness. All right, we're just sending all of that energy away out of our sphere to be absorbed into the great cosmic force that runs through all things and transmuted into a higher vibrational energy. Let's elevation coming in, right? Elevation coming in. Get ready. We're going to be moving forward real fast here. It's not too much longer. When we start to move into Aquarius season, is when the expansion is really going to pop off. So use this time to really get anchored in and work with that Saturnian energy to, make sure your vessel's fit for travel, because we have the Three of Wands, bottom of the deck energy. This is finally something comes in and it sparks forward motion. I think you're going to spot this out on the horizon this week, collective. We are going to look deeper into matters. I'm going to do a zodiac wheel layout where we'll look at the 12 houses and how they influence the life. All with tarot, all right? So kind of a little different spin, but I like working with the house energy. I think it gives us more comprehensive view of what's coming in for us. I will be shuffling on camera because I just feel like that's very important, all right? I will provide timestamps, and I do encourage you to write it out with me if you're able to, if you have the time, because often channel messages come in while I'm shuffling, or there's some kind of key point that comes in as I see a card that flips up in a house and I want to speak something to it right away because I got to download. I don't want to lose it. All right. So, it's up to you. You do as you please. You receive these reads as you please. With that being said, it is a collective reading. Okay. So please tap into the overarching themes, listen to your intuition to understand how the message is speaking to you, how it applies in your life. Flip-flop roles as you need to. If a storyline comes in that, involves another person, if you feel like you're on the other side, then you are, adjust as need be. Do open up the perspective in your mind, though, that you also may be getting a sneak peek into the other's viewpoint in your situation, and you can use that to your advantage by understanding how you can maybe adjust your approach so you can get on the same page with this person, maybe alleviate some of that conflict, maybe alleviate some of what is keeping things in gridlock. This coming in strong, there's lots of support for it. This is a very positive Mercury retrograde in general. It gives us an opportunity to lay down a solid foundation and move forward with a lot of strength and clarity as we make our next steps, because our next steps that we're going to make in Aquarius season are really significant. They're setting our track for a time to come, all right? So right now you want to make sure that you got a good foundation in place, some kind of routine for yourself that's stabilizing. And when I say routine, I mean a routine that takes into account your self-care, right? Make sure you're making time to take care of your body, to really nourish yourself the way you need to be nourished, to rest, to take time out, to do nothing, you know. You really want to be bringing your very best to the table if you want to take full advantage of the expansion that's coming in with Aquarius season, because it is going to pop off, okay? So let's just go ahead and dive into it. When I call out any signs in the read, do be aware that it's for any strong placement in the chart: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars. But, you know, I have to tell you that the reality is that, you know, the solar system is always moving, right? Everything is always in motion. Nothing is static. Just like you're not static, you may feel like you're stuck right now, but things are going to get moving forward before you know it, and you will really be missing this time that you had to kind of sink in and get your bearings for what is up ahead. So I encourage you, you know, to really be mindful of that. There's just so much coming in that we need to ready ourselves for, steady ourselves for. And a lot of it is unknown. It's kind of like some curveball action, but it's like blessed redirects, okay? Blessed redirects and surprise opportunities coming in Aquarius season that give an opportunity to step into expansion. But this step that you need to make, it might be quite significant and really require you to step out of a box you've grown quite comfortable in. And because of that, you really want to make sure that you have something really solid in place where just a daily practice that keeps you really rooted is so significant. All right, excuse me. 7:26. I am putting the shuffling in for. This way I can get those timestamps up for you all as soon as possible after the reading airs. This is pre-recorded. If I ever do a live, I always announce that it is a special live event, okay? Just so you know. All right, let's just do it. I'm going to give a few more shuffles. I've already really shuffled this pretty strongly before I even started with you all, but I'm going to go ahead and shuffle them a bit more on camera before we actually do the shuffling to lay them out, just so you see. We got this deck nice and mixed up here. Usually when I get it shuffled, the bottom of the deck energy represents the overarching theme, kind of what we'll all be holding in our space as we move through the next 7 days. And we're really looking at how the collective can move through the energies in play this week in the most empowered way, taking full advantage of the best opportunities available, understanding what's needed to show up for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to get us anchored and rooted. Look at this. I can't help but notice it before I do the cutting. We got 2 of Pentacles. So this week is about finding your balance, okay? It's about looking where you feel out of balance, looking at where things don't feel secure, you know, where you're always, I just got Robin from Peter to pay Paul, okay? So maybe for a lot of you, this is coming up in the area of finances. Maybe finances is a big concern and you're trying to figure out how to better budget things. You know, you might want to start thinking about some of the luxuries that you spend your money on. I know that's never fun to talk about, but Saturn is about the brass tacks, okay? It's about looking at things very plainly. It's about injecting a fair amount of stoicism into your approach to life and being aware that sometimes we have to do things that we don't necessarily want to do, but they're in our best interest. And we'll be grateful that we did those things in the future down the road, because Saturn also doesn't just look at the here and now. Saturn's about long-term view, long-range view, all right? So really set yourself up so you don't have to worry, like if a lean time comes, how can you move right now? I'm really getting saving energy. Ooh, and right behind that, we got Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning, okay? So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of new beginnings coming in, and this new beginning in particular looks like it's in the area of, you know, matters of the heart, but it's sort of like saying that this is on the horizon for you. You know, I think a lot of you may be wondering what's coming in love. Is there going to be some action going on there. Are things going to turn in a better direction? You know, Ace of Cups ensures there is a new beginning in love, but the thing with the Ace of Cups is you can't be in such a rush, okay, with this rabbit energy down there. It's important that you first begin by filling your own cup. Make sure that you're in a place where you feel really solid and nourished, nourished within yourself. Maybe it needed to be pointed out a few times. And perhaps you're like, nourish? What's nourishment? What is that? What does it mean to nurture myself? You know? This piece coming in very strongly. It came in last week too, and I feel it's still in play. There's really the need to get the hydration up. There's really a need to make sure you're taking a break to properly nourish yourself. Understanding the connection with this, that the opportunity to stop and have a meal and really nourish yourself with something that gives you a sense of vitality, that gives you good energy, you know, that makes you feel your best. It's going to really be so foundational for everything else you do in your life. It's all about how you're cultivating your energy at this time, because our energy is what fuels our actions. If you're tired, if you're run down, if you're not feeling your best, there's not a lot that you can make happen. Okay. So this piece coming in very strongly, just on a practical level. But it's also about like tending to our hearts right now, thinking about what our hearts need to feel a sense of personal safety and opening up, because the area of love is never going to be a safe space. It requires risk. It requires you to be vulnerable with another person. But what you can do is make it safe for yourself within your own heart to open up to love. All right. By understanding that you got you. You're not going to abandon yourself. Maybe you abandoned yourself in times in the past, but that was then, and things are a lot different now. Okay, so I'm going to do kind of the deck energy here, get them nice and mixed up, cut them a few times. And that wasn't even the overarching theme. Look, we already got channeled messages coming in. I might have to make that the channeled message section. I don't know. Ooh, Empress energy. I'm loving it. Yes, you know, it's about thinking of the garden you want to grow in your life. What are you growing? If your garden was going to come into bloom right now with what you've invested in terms of your nurturing, your nourishment of what you're wanting to grow in your life, what would it look like? You know, use this as a visualization as you move through this week. It also came in the On the Hedge full moon circle that me and Strega Lizzie did here on Broad Coven. So I'm going to bring it in for those of you who have not seen that. There was a practice that came in, just like kind of a download came in about a very simple ritual you can do to connect you with this energy. Now, Empress energy is all about our visions manifest. It's actually seeing the things grow. It's seeing your dreams grow and come into fruition. And there's a lot of celebration around this. It's also about being in a place of empowerment, feeling yourself, feeling like you're in your element, you're doing what you love, you're in the flow of abundance in life. All of the things that you have put your heart, your sweat, your tears, your energy, poured your love into, they're all coming to bloom. This is just a point of arrival, and it's a point of celebration. And it's really this place of rising up out of what held you down in the past and feeling yourself. I mean, there really is no other way to put it, but feeling yourself. Now, sometimes, you know, we can move out of this energy. Outside circumstances pull at us, you know, and we don't feel that same, you know, sense of personal connection to our center, where, you know, all of that creativity is that we funnel into what we manifest in our lives. And when that happens, you know, it's important to kind of come back to the self, come back to the nurturing, and come back to the pampering, and come back to the self-care, and tapping into your creativity and listening to your intuition and all these pieces. Remember, the Empress is an integration of the four queens, the four elemental queens. All right. So your swords, your wands, your cups, your pentacles, right? Having all of those things in balance, your inspiration, your passion, your determination, your emotional connection, and your ability to do what needs to be done to anchor it in material reality with that Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So this is about really cultivating this. And one way you can be mindful of this is to just create a very simple altar to the Empress. If you have a tarot deck at home, you can just pull that Empress out for this purpose. Or you can create a deck of your own, a deck of your own. Maybe some of you are in the process of creating a deck. Maybe this is something you're working on. This coming through is just a side download message, but I meant to say you could create a card of your own, an image of the Empress, okay? And go ahead and just put it up. It can be even a shelf, okay? Just put your Empress on there. You can have a little candle that you light there, maybe at some point in the day, whenever it feels right to you, to have a little self-reflection and ask yourself. I think it's kind of nice to do it either at the beginning of the day or the ending of the day. You feel the flow that's right for you, but it can be a nice way to really either open or close the day, to have this as a like simple meditation. You can light the candle and you can look at the Empress and think of everything that the Empress embodies and ask yourself, do you feel like you're in your Empress energy? All right. And then even for you, yes, it's still Empress energy, because it's more that emotional, creative, in that flow, water kind of energy. It's different. It's different than the Emperor energy. I mean, if it makes you more comfortable to say Emperor, you can, but it's a different vibe, all right? It's a different vibe. The Emperor is more about stepping into that action, that place of authority, getting things done, but in a different way, using more fire, all right? Using more fire. Definitely more water, but it's with the Empress, but it's that, the yin to the yang, the fire, the water. It's the balance that kind of opened this all up. So you can do this, light the candle, think of everything that the Empress represents. And if you feel like, you know what, I'm not really there, I feel out of balance, turn her upside down on your altar so it serves as a visual cue that you need to find balance in this area. And this will move you also into a place of kind of internal exploration, like asking yourself, where is the imbalance? Is it in the swords? Is it in the wands? Is it in the cups? Is it in the pentacles? Where is the flow of creation being disrupted? And that's where you want to pour your nurturing into. And when you feel like, okay, I addressed it, and you feel back in your energy, put her upright. And you can work with this really as long as you want, but it would be excellent to work with through this lunar cycle leading up to the new moon in Aquarius on the 21st of this month. All right. And there will be another On the Hedge coming in at that time with Strega Lizzie. We're bringing something really fun in for you all. So do be looking for updates about that. All right. So 1915, we're officially shuffling. I guess, I don't know. You know what? Whatever. It's all kind of shuffling. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do that. Let's just get into it. All right, so shuffling for the collective for this week. What is coming up in terms of how they're going to be feeling? Where are they going to be at? What's their general weather report? Where they're at? Mind, body, spirit, moving through this week. Okay. All right, show me the bag. Show me the finances for the collective this week. All right. Came out as a crossing influence. Okay, show me how communication is going to go for the collective this week. How's communication? All right. All right, show me home life for the collective this week. What's coming up in the area of home? All right. Woo! something might need to be addressed on the home front. Just the cards almost like slipped out of my hands. Maybe you feel like something's slipping out of your hands. Maybe somebody is hoping to get a home, get the keys to a property, get the news that they got the place. They feel like it's kind of slipping out of their hand. I don't know. That's just coming in. We'll see. What's coming up in the area of romance and earthly delights, pleasure, all that good fun stuff. Okay. Crossing influence coming up there, collective. All right, let's see. What is coming up in the area of work and routine for the collective this week? What is coming up in the area of work and routine for the collective this week? Every time, I swear, it's like, do we have to focus on work and routine? And it's so what is being demanded of us at this time. Oh, I've got a couple cards there, and they're kind of like a little off balance, a little skew. What's coming up in the area of love, serious relationships, committed relationships, marriages? You know, we're in it to win it. What's coming in the area? Okay, another crossing influence there. Okay, what's coming up in the area of sex, death, transformation, the occult? All right. Ooh, wow. All right, that's a heavy hitter. Interesting message there. Okay. What is coming up in the area of travel, expansion, and spirituality this week? Oh, this flipped up right in the middle of the deck. Okay, interesting. Okay. What is coming up in the area of PR? Okay. Crossing influence. What is coming up in the area of friends and community this week for the collective? All right. You guys are being very forthcoming right now, which is nice. What is coming up in the area of karma? All right. Crossed right there. All right, let's dive into it. 2242. I'll get to start the read. All right, let's see what we got. So, first things first, we're looking at how you're feeling this week. What's coming up for you? What's going on with you? And we got the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so it's interesting because that came in the channel download that finances may be on your mind. I think a lot of you are looking more into kind of like side hustles. You're looking at cottage industry type gigs. Some of you may be looking at starting in Etsy this coming in. You have something that you really enjoy doing. Maybe up until this point, you've kind of seen it as just like a craft or a hobby, something you do for personal enjoyment. But lately, you've been getting a lot of feedback from people. They really appreciate your art, they appreciate your craft. They've been asking you how much, and you've never even thought of selling this stuff before. You're considering starting an Etsy. You're considering opening up a little studio where you can do your work. I feel like it's something that it's kind of starting small. It's starting small, and I feel like for a lot of you, it's starting out of your home. Maybe you're getting a certain area of your home set up as an office, so you have a place to really focus and concentrate on your work. But I feel that you are doing something a little different. It's got a bit of a creative angle to it. And at first, you're thinking, this is just going to be a little something to, help me generate a little something on the side, maybe help my finances feel a little more balanced out. But I think you're going to be surprised how much growth comes forward from doing this, not only within yourself, but also financially. I see that this is something that's got some legs to it, okay? I also feel like for those of you who are, in jobs where you check in, you clock out, I feel like things are going to be going a lot better on the work front. Maybe there's been some challenges in the past, but these things seem to be ironed out. And this has a lot to do with people kind of knowing their role. I feel like things were a little bit unclear, but things have been getting sorted out with some communication, and the team is working a lot better. Things are happening with a lot more ease, and you're actually enjoying being around your coworkers. It's not such a tense atmosphere like it was, especially during the holidays. I feel like that's coming up pretty strongly for a lot of those that work in retail. Retail can be really rough during the holidays. It can be so, so, so rough. Just the way that people treat retail workers is pretty abhorrent. Not cool at all. And it can definitely make the staff cranky. I feel like somebody was in this position. Maybe you're in a more like a managerial position at your job. You really were having a lot of hassle with the coworkers, but I feel like you got everything ironed out. You came up with a really creative solution. Everybody's working a lot better together this week. So look forward to that. But I still feel like there's some kind of creative angle coming forward very strongly. I think you're also thinking of creative solutions to the challenges you're facing. You're really trying to think outside the box and thinking about how things can finally like start to produce some results. Like instead of there just being the stagnating, how can we move things forward? And so I think you're looking at new ways to go about that and the challenges you're facing collective. Now, in terms of finances, we've got crossing influence. Yeah, look at this. Isn't it funny that it comes in? We got the Five of Wands. Okay. So we see that there's some kind of arguments around finances. There's some kind of messiness that needs to be worked out. You might need to get a little bit more organized with your finances. This also might have a lot to do with kind of like fighting your lower nature around finances. Maybe you tend to kind of indulge a bit too much, like treat yourself to things when you really should be paying down that debt, or you need to be taking care of your bills instead of like trying to, um, you know, project what you think you're going to earn to cover your bills. Like take care of things when you have the money to do it. I think this puts you in a position where you end up having hassles. Some of you are going to have something go a little screwy at the bank. It's no big deal. It's like a technical glitch. It'll get ironed out, but I see some of you kind of like on the phone with customer service and being a little argumentative. Remember to try to chill out, all right? Especially if you're trying to hammer out anything financially with anybody. Stay out of that argumentative energy because it's not going to move anything forward and certainly not in this cycle. Things will get ironed out, but it's important that you like keep your cool, okay? I think this is also kind of coming into a place where you're sort of fighting with yourself, like, well, what do I cut? What do I cut from my spending? Um, I'm really picking up like big vice energy. Like some of you really like to shop online. Some of you, you like to treat yourself to meals out. It's getting really pricey. Like I'm picking up more of like kind of like a luxury vibe with this. It's not essentials. And maybe, it's not fun to look at the essentials, but Saturn requires that of us. And this is what we need to focus on is the nuts and bolts. I think that you have to kind of like rein yourself in where you feel impulsive in your spending. And then you'll find a lot of things balancing out with the finances. Again, at work, or in any kind of arrangement where money is exchanging hands. Um, if you're an independent contractor, make sure everything is all ironed out. So there's no room for misunderstandings. All right. Be aware of your customer service as well. What kind of energy are you bringing forward to your customers for those of you that are in business? Or if you have a customer that's upset, think twice about how you handle that situation so you don't let what is a minor thing turn into a big headache. All right. So this piece coming in, there's a need to get the finances kind of smoothed out, and not go into that impulsive like pleasure shopping or wasteful kind of money, money negligence is what I want to say. I mean, that's the word that wants to come out, negligence. Okay. So some of you have been really negligent. Maybe you really have been deferring on paying something off, and you need to get this taken care of. You need to get your finances straightened out, get things a bit more organized, is what I'm getting. It's a little all over the place, and there hasn't been a real attention to this area. Something needs to be streamlined so you can really begin to move in a more successful direction and see growth in the finances. Okay, so bring some attention there. In the area of communication, communication is out of balance with the temperance in reverse. You may find in love relationships, this particular temperance has like the two of cups, uh, you know, in her hands. And it's interesting because with it upside down, it almost looks like a jump rope to me. And I just heard things are so hard right now. It's like trying to jump rope on your head. Okay. If you were standing on your head and you were jump roping, that would not be an easy feat. So I think there really is a need to, again, temper. People are kind of in that phase right now where they're feeling the frustration of things being sort of like in this holding pattern. And they're in the frustration of having to deal with like the drudgery, right? Like the nuts and bolts. They're just ready for things to move into that expansion because we feel like we've moved through so much heaviness over 2022 and the 2 years prior. Everybody's just ready. Can we just get on with this already? Okay. So there's a lot of this pent up energy in the collective. And of course, it's going to spill over into our connections, the way we're relating to people, the way we are communicating. I'm feeling this is coming up big time in the area of matters of the heart and love. There is a need to calm down, do what you need to do. I'm also seeing this kind of like hangman energy with it being upside down. Do what you need to do to get your balance. So if you're having some activating conversations right now, that means pulling your energy back, taking a time out, saying, hey, I'll get back to you. Or if have somebody that wants to get on the phone with you and you're not in that space, don't. Okay. Create some boundary lines so you can get yourself in a centered place and you can get very clear on what you want to communicate before you engage with people when you're already in a frustrated space. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not going to produce anything good. And in fact, it's only going to lead to more confusion, more complication. We want to move out of that energy. All right. We want to turn this energy around. So think twice before you let the words tumble out of your mouth. If you're feeling reactive, make sure you're taking a step back so you can find your balance before you communicate again. This is very important. And it's funny because temperance, is related to the sign Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is also very much about expansion. It's travel and expansion and spirituality. Their house rules over that area. So I also feel like there may be some trouble in like organizing a trip, any kind of travel plans. There might be some glitches. It's not the best time to travel, but some of you may have to do that. So expect you might run into some delays. And I also feel like some of you are really just trying to like feel out your way right now. You're trying to get in touch with your heart. You're trying to get in touch with your soul and sort of figure out what's my next step forward. You may be like waiting for an answer from spirit, and sort of like spirit's messages, it's time to pull up the big boy pants, the big girl pants, and do what needs to be done. We're not saving you this time. This is a test. Did you learn what you needed to learn? Get to it, do what needs to be done. Cut off what doesn't work and start to nurture what you want to grow and get yourself centered and do what needs to be done because nobody's saving you. This message coming in too, there is the need to find some balance. I also think some of you might be reaching out to like some kind of support group. You feel a little bit out of balance. You feel like you need that support that comes through having somebody to talk to. I'm picking a big support group energy. I mean, this certainly could be one-on-one in therapy, but I'm feeling more of a kind of like a communal vibe around that, okay? Where it's like a circle of people that meet and they share what they're going through, and it's providing a lot of support and can help you find your balance in the area of communication, okay? Then in the area of home, in the fourth house, look at this. There we go. We got the Empress. I love that that came out. Okay, so hey, I really feel like it would be beneficial for you all to work with that ritual, like bring this into your home, just as a way to have a simple focal point in your home to check in with where your energy's at and where are you operating from, and then have that simple awareness that can help you really pour in uh, the nurturing that's needed so you can get to this place, right? But I also see you doing a lot of beautifying around your home. I feel like a lot of you may be starting your spring cleaning early. You just really feel the need to just get the heaviness of the past few years out of your space. So I see you doing a big clear out. I see you bringing more flowers into your home, more plants into your home, having more eye on like the colors you're using. You may feel you're drawn to more softer colors right now. Something about the softer colors is more kind of soothing to your senses. I also feel like you're creating areas in your home where you can really pamper yourself, like putting together little baskets with all kinds of beautiful oils and body balms and fragrances and just things that make you feel spoiled, and having these things, around you almost as like mini portable altars. Like I'm just seeing like a basket like full of all kinds of pampering things. You're trying to make pampering more accessible, like not something that you treat yourself to once in a while, but something that you're actually using as a practice to just tend to yourself. Give yourself a little self-care, indulge a little bit. I also see that there's going to be a lot of you that are going to be dancing at home. You're wanting to explore different kinds of exercise. You don't want to go to the gym. You're wanting to find a different kind of flow. Some of you are in the process of kind of getting into a home workout routine. You're really enjoying dance. You're just enjoying putting on some music and dancing and just moving your body however you feel like moving that day. And you're finding actually you're getting a lot of great results with this too. In general, I feel like there's just like this beautifying effect that's coming forward this week around the home front. And you're really just going to be making your space more aesthetically pleasing. But I do feel like there's a big clear out first, like getting rid of old stuff that you don't need anymore. You're ready to like glow up. Okay. So you're really shedding all the things that are kind of holding you back or making you feel weighed down. You're noticing as you're releasing more of this physical stuff, you're feeling emotionally lighter, energetically lighter. And so I think that this is a really positive energy to work with. Those of you witches out there, it's a good time, to do your sweeping, sweep all the old energy out the door and open up the windows and, do all your smoke cleansing, do your warding, and, just really set up a new energetic environment at home to step into the energy of 2023. All right. In the area of earthly pleasures and creativity, we have Six of Cups. Okay, so Six of Cups is very much like a nostalgia card. It's also soulmate energy. It was 39:39 on the clock when I said that. You may very well hear from a past love this week. This might be coming in. You might receive a message from a past love that wants to, just reconnect. I suggest being open to this. There could be something really, really special that comes out of it, I feel. And also, maybe for some of you that is going to reignite a spark. I always feel like during a retrograde, it's not the best time to start down the road of um, romantic connection. Um, but I certainly think with this energy in play, it would be a good time to get communication going. All right. So you might be exploring this possibility. You might be revisiting an old relationship this week, this kind of coming in strongly. I do feel like you're meeting somebody this week or you're reconnecting with somebody this week that is a lot of fun to be around. There's some levity in the connection. You're enjoying hanging out with this person. You actually might be spending quite a bit of time with this person. For some of you, it's bringing up old memories. You're sort of reliving old memories. I got this feeling of like talking about old times, things you used to do, having some good laughs. It's actually a really sweet energy. So this looks very lovely, very lovely. Some of you are reconnecting with your mom. You haven't talked to your mom in a while, and you're dropping in with her, and it's like a really sweet experience. You're enjoying that reconnection. Very, very beautiful energy there. Yeah. You also might be finding you're kind of wanting to do some things that you used to do as a kid for fun. You haven't done these things in a long time. Like I just saw somebody like blowing bubbles at the park. So invite some of this energy in too. It can be good to remember the things that you used to really enjoy as a child and bring a little bit of that spirit back in. It can open up some things inside of you. And so I think this is wonderful. I feel like there's this real kind of like sweet vibe in the air this week in the area of romance and just earthly pleasures. So look for a lot of synchronicity to come in and a lot of sweet experiences that sort of remind you there's still magic in the world. Okay. It's not all drudgery. It's not all drudgery. Okay. And then in the area of work routine, yeah, we got the Hierophant. We got the Six of Pentacles. And we got the Five of Pentacles. Okay. So clearly, you all are really feeling, you know, concern around the finances. And I feel like for a lot of people, with the Hierophant being here, the Hierophant really represents institutions at the end of the day. And I feel like a lot of you are you're worried about your taxes. Um, I think this is on people's minds quite a bit. Maybe you're concerned about how you're going to be able to handle paying what you owe just with where you're at financially right now. You might want to work out something, with the Six of Pentacles, some kind of plan. I think if you get in contact with somebody, they can support you. Maybe get in touch with an accountant, express your situation, what you're dealing with, and ask them how you can go about it, or even, look into some programs that can support you in getting things ironed out. Some of you are waiting to receive a loan. You've applied for a loan and you're hoping you get it because it'll really take the pressure off of you. Some of you are refinancing. You're waiting to hear back about some kind of loan and wondering if it'll work out, if you're going to get the money. With the Hierophant showing up, I think yes, absolutely. That's a yes. The money you need is going to come through. Okay. So where you've really been struggling financially, do expect that there is going to be an opportunity to get what you need to move forward. Help is on the way. Some of you have been out of work. You've applied for a job. You're waiting to hear back. I think you're going to hear good news. Okay. 44 on the clock. You are absolutely going to receive good news about that. I also feel like this is a fun group of people you're going to be working with. You'll actually really enjoy this job. It'll be very good for you. There's things that can grow from this position that you might not be aware of at this time. Okay. So Maybe you were like, oh man, I don't really want this job, but I need to get it, to keep afloat. You'll be surprised. This job is going to lead you to other things, other opportunities down the road. And it's a real good group of people, okay? You're going to like the people you work with. So just be open to the experience. I think you'll be surprised where it all leads. This is just the beginning, all right? That message coming through for somebody pretty strongly. All right, in the area of work and routine. Oh no, we just did work and routine. Partnerships. Okay. Partnerships. Wow, this is pretty strong. Okay, so this is love relationships, committed love relationships, 45 on the clock. Marriages, all right. Serious connections where you're mutually invested in the growth of the relationship. There's an important communication coming in with the Ace of Swords. I feel like real communication has been held back in this connection for a long time. And this is the week where some truth finally gets spoken. I feel like the truth is coming out in the connection. This is an important defining moment with it being the Ace of Swords, okay? Ace of Swords is also a timing card. It represents the winter, which we're currently in winter season. So this communication produces a new beginning within this season, all right? It's an important communication. I feel like where truth was held back, where people have been afraid to say what's been on their mind, they're going to finally come up and out with it. Whatever comes forward leads to some kind of new action being taken. It's definitely important. This isn't it's not some like superficial communication. It's something that's bearing 47 on the clock when I said that. 11, okay? 11 energy. This communication brings you in alignment. I also see that, with Ace of Swords, often in the area of love, it can be a declaration of love, okay? So maybe somebody hasn't really been in their heart space for a while. Maybe there's been challenges in your relationship. Things have been held back. The communication hasn't been there. Somebody expresses how they really feel, and it makes all the difference. Turns everything around. It was 4733 when I said that, all right? Very important communication. Brings on alignment and gets you both back on the same page moving forward in your connection with purpose, okay? I'm really getting this very strongly. And for those of you who've been dating somebody and you've really been digging each other, vibing off of each other, I think somebody is going to want to take it to the next level. Okay. There's important communication coming in this week. So that's a very positive sign in the area of love relationships. And then in the area of sex, occult, death, transformation, somebody's going to be getting busy, okay? If you've been going through a dry spell, look to have some action coming in, all right? I think that you're feeling randy, you're ready to make some music between the sheets. I think that there's an opportunity for this. I think there's lots of opportunity for this. I think you may also be dealing with like an influx of those, hey, late night messages in the inbox because a lot of people are in the mood, a lot of people out there in the collective are ready to get it on. You may find a lot of this kind of like fuckboy energy coming at you, this sort of like just want to hit it and quit it kind of energy coming in. Do be mindful of that. For those of you who are wanting to get out there, sow your oats, play the field, I think there's a lot of opportunity for that. I think there's going to be a lot of sexting this week. That energy is really front and center. And where you've been waiting for something to transform, I think there's messages coming in this week that are finally going to get the ball rolling, right? Maybe the action's not going to be taken right now, but something's definitely going to be set in motion. Yeah, I feel like communication is a big key. It's like the blockages are being removed. There's going to be clarity in a situation that's going to give you a plan for moving forward. And you'll know what you need to cut off, what needs to go in your life in order to move in this direction. That coming in quite strongly. And then in the area of travel, expansion, and spirituality, we got the King of Swords. Okay, so Air sign collective, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I also see this Aquarius season, really getting prepared for Aquarius season and what is needed, what needs to be cut off so you can move into expansion. I think you're going to be doing a lot of self reflecting, looking at areas of behavior that have really sabotaged you in the past and making some changes to your daily habits, your daily routines, and streamlining things, getting more organized. I feel like there's a lot of work being done this week around doing what's necessary so you can step into expansion by transforming negative habits. All right. So you're cutting off some things that haven't been working for you. Now, in the area of PR, career, brand, boom, 50, 55 on the clock when I said this. Big change coming in this area. It's all taking off here, all right? I see something's being ignited. Those of you who do any kind of online work, like you're getting a lot of exposure right now, this is a really excellent card to come in the area of anything involving the field of communications. Okay. I definitely feel like you have a new beginning, a new direction with your brand. You're really inspired by it. You're taking action on this. You're seeing results. You learned a lot with that owl medicine there. You learned a lot during the time when things were kind of stuck and stagnant. You started to see what worked, what didn't work. It may have been a slow crawl to get to this place, but you learned what you needed to learn at that time so you really could launch something. Some of you are going to be launching something very soon. You're getting all the pieces in order this week, and you're going to love what you're creating. So much of your creativity is coming forward, and there's going to be a very positive response. I just keep getting, this is the moment it all takes off. Okay, so really good sign there. Then in the area of friends and community, we have Page of Cups. Oh my gosh. Okay. Totally lost you all there. Oh my gosh. Can we pull it off? I think we can pull it off, collective. Maybe this is coming forward. Okay. In the area of friends and community, Page of Cups. So this really seals the message coming in here. I think there's somebody that you have cut off communication with. You all haven't talked in a while. Maybe one of you had blocked the other at some point on social media. Either way, it's been a long time since the two of you connected, right? I feel like you're reconnecting this week. You're going to hear from this person. It starts out small, but there is some kind of emotional extension, all right? I think this is somebody kind of showing their hand a little bit. Maybe they've been playing things really close to the chest. You haven't known how this person has felt about your situation. You've been in the dark about it. I feel like there's some kind of message that comes through and it's emotional in nature. There's something here that a little window view is provided into the emotions that wasn't there before. Somebody's letting themselves, reveal a little bit of their vulnerability, okay? And there's something that moves forward from this, some kind of communication that comes through in friends, in community, that kind of moves things in a more positive direction. I feel this has to relate to an apology, is what I'm getting. Like some kind of apology is made this week, and it helps really smooth out some bruised egos I got. Okay, this is what came in. Maybe you all were in your pride a little bit too much, and this gets ironed out. Whew. And then in the 12th house, in the area of karma, hidden enemies, and evolution, we have the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Also, with that Page of Cups, that's water sign energy, all right, with that communication. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There might be somebody with earth and water in their chart for this to come in here. This could be somebody that, is the person that was cut off, because it is hidden enemies, right? This could be a frenemy situation. It was 56 on the clock when I said that. All right, so some of you might want to keep your eyes open in this situation. You don't act on anything. Maybe just like kind of hear them out and lean into how you're feeling about it. All right. When this person comes forward, this might be somebody who's behaved a bit immaturely in the past, has caused problems. Be on the lookout for that. Okay. I also feel like you've closed an important karmic cycle, collective, and now you are at the beginning point again. Forever the student, all right? New cycle of learning is starting now. So be mindful of what comes in, because it's kind of presenting themes of what's coming in. I'm just going to do a cut of the deck energy here to get an overarching theme for the collective. It's Halloween deck. Skull of light, illumination, okay? So look for the past to be illuminated. What you didn't understand, what you couldn't see before relating to the past and the situations you've been through. Look for this week to provide the clarity that you need. Something is being illuminated this week that brings it all full circle and helps really close things in a way where you feel like you finally have the truth that was missing before and you understand. And this provides a real opportunity to lay certain things to rest, and also maybe to have certain things brought to light for you that you didn't understand. And this could be the thing that changes everything.